So it seems as if it's another day, another miscellaneous CS2 update, and that's a wrap. Just moments ago, Valve Devs sent out the latest official CS2 update for gameplay, fixing what most players consider a fix for why spraying feels off inside Counter-Strike 2. Now, because there's only been one line of text in the most recent updates for CS2 doesn't mean it's not important. Because not just of this, but also just recently back-to-back updates and Valve's recent activity within CS2, players are beginning to think there's more on the horizon for very good reason. The bug fixes, content included in these updates, and of course leaks through data mines suggesting there's more coming soon, that's not the point. It's because of Valve's recent consistency that many players think that something is coming. Today's video, we're going to break down the CS2 devs' latest activity, doing an update recap, and of course breaking down how their consistency could be leading to more as the clock ticks down until the release of the Austin Major. I would like to give a huge thank you to Skins Monkey for sponsoring today's video. Skins Monkey is a buying and trading marketplace where you can replace your old skins for something shiny. To start a trade, it's as simple as to click the skins you no longer want and grab the new skins you want to obtain. If you need to top up your balance, you can use my code MANDO for an additional 35% deposit bonus, as well as you can also get up to a free $5. With Skins Monkey's large variety of skins, they also offer daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways. Be sure to check them out in the top link in the description down below. Now, firstly for today's video is last night's update, but also a recap of recent CS2 events. And last night's update, for those who were just wondering, was an update to the community map Jura, where it just fixed some server connectivity issues. So here's a timeline for recent events for CS2. Going back just a little while ago, for near 2 months, we had no talk, recognition, nor an update for CS2. Not even a change or fix to game-breaking bugs. We had absolutely nothing. And most people at this point in time thought that Valve was just going to continue onwards with this until the major and then update sometime after. After 2 months of no update, then out of the blue, we received a refresh to the armory where they added a new case, not to mention brand new collections for weekly drops, which whether you're on the side of liking skins or not, yes, the game needs more tune-ups, yes, the game needs more content aside from cosmetics, but this was much needed since the older collections were near and some were over a decade old. And going onward just a little bit longer, because of how big this update was with fixes, bug fixes, certain changes with the game, but mainly focusing on cosmetics, most players thought that Valve was going to kind of cap out with updates until the major. Since Valve, if we base this off their history with updating in between and of course on top of majors, they don't usually do so. Because of the rare case of the game having game-breaking bugs, they changed the mechanics, and they also don't want to make more problems for pros since they've been practicing year-round for a 2-week-long tournament all year. And of course, that's exactly why we're making today's video, is they kept it going. We received an update that most thought wasn't coming until after the stickers for the Austin Major were either gone or 75% off. That being the Mission Possible update, otherwise known as the MVP update 2.0. Now this, unlike the MVP update from last year in 2024, this actually had things to offer players, meaning it actually had more maps, new features players actually enjoyed, and we also didn't really feel like it was too much of a placeholder until the next big thing. It felt like its own thing, if that makes any sort of sense. Now from that point on, moving forward just a couple of weeks, bugs were fixed regarding the long-standing problem with the AK sticker placement on the wood not being like how it was in CSGO, as well as some minor updates like last night or the community map Jura. Now, as most of you are probably asking yourself why last night's update was so important, wasn't because of the community map fix, but was more so to do with the CS2 devs becoming more active. Now, I will say this at this point in time in today's video, this can be taken into 2 different ways. The first one being where I think a lot of players see themselves on, especially according to the comments on Twitter from this update, and that's that devs are buttering up players for the major, want them to watch it, but also spend a bunch of money on cosmetics. They're getting active again just in time for the major for you to just drop your wallets in the game. And number 2 is we finally have the devs becoming more active again and are gearing up not just for the major, but for more to follow after it's done. And after stating those two, I think it's very easy to fall on both sides. Maybe you're somewhere in the middle. That's where I kind of am, but I'm also on the side of number 2. I mean, we all know at this point in time, at least nowadays, sticker sales don't really mean anything. A certain date of when something's being removed, Valve usually doesn't follow suit with it unless it's from the armory. And so far, they've only done that once, and I couldn't even count on all the fingers and toes I have of how many times they've placed a date for removal of an operation, that being Broken Fang, the removal of a sticker sale from years ago, and they didn't remove it for months on out from that point. Majors just aren't the way they used to be, meaning when there was a sticker sale for a major back in the day, Valve wouldn't update or touch the game until those stickers were removed. But a big difference was those stickers were on sale for the matter of 6 to 8 months at a time. In every single major the last couple of years, they've grown in the duration they're on sale for. And at the same time of that, Valve sees that players are probably going to spend money on stickers, but they can also bang something out for players to unbox, play, do something in the meantime to keep players active, but also wanting to play the game and spend money. You're probably asking yourself, what does it mean? Why is this important? Well, my point is that we could be thrown a curveball, and it's actually very possible, not to mention likely, that we see something very soon regarding recent leaks within CS2's game files. Now, just a couple within the recent months. Number 1 is co-op missions. We've seen these being in the game files for the last few months, but the topic of co-op missions is kind of an iffy area, since this is very relatable, I think for some people anyway, to the Danger Zone situation, where Danger Zone was spotted in the game files. In most most, if not all, CS2 players thought it was coming to CS2, when in reality it wasn't. When after digging in the facts, looking at everything over once again, we could see that Danger Zone wasn't coming to CS2 ever. It was just related strings to Danger Zone that Valve pulled from CSGO, and they were somehow in the game files of Counter-Strike 2. So maybe co-op missions could be in the same boat as this, where because we just got the Mission Possible update where there is now weekly missions for XP, maybe that's where the whole co-op string is coming from inside CS2's game files, but who really knows? And of course, the other thing I want to mention is CS2 night maps. Now, a lot of different first-person shooters, not to mention just video games overall. Number one, it changes things up, gives more players choice, but also the devs see it as another map to be added to the game when it's really just the same map with a different skybox. Now, as of recently, CS2 has seen Ancient as a night map within the game files in the recent updates. And this wasn't just a string found somewhere in the game files from an old CSGO update or some random CS2 update. No, this is brand new in its own thing. It's actually likely that this could be coming soon. Like I said, these will probably be discussed in its own video at a later date. Let me know what you guys think down below. I gotta say, I'm just pretty impressed, and I'm also happy that Valve is once again active within CS2, because for a little bit, it had a lot of players worried that they weren't going to be touching the game until sometime after the major. But like we mentioned throughout today's video, that cycle, that streak, that thought process seems to be gone, because even dating back to the Shanghai major from 2024 in November, we got trained just weeks prior, and that's a major release. So imagine what they could be cooking for before, during, or after the major. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay positive, sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.